What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. This one, I think we're going to be trying to do a bit more stipple and whip shading in this one, I think. At least a little bit of stipple shading, but mostly whip shading. I've drawn up a bit of a more traditional style skull piece to start on, and hopefully it turns out well. I didn't do the prep of doing a shaded piece before this one, so I'm gonna have to figure out the shading as I go. It should be pretty simple, but let's get started. For this piece, I'm going to be using a couple of my standards, but not all of them. I'm going to be using an 18 round liner, a 5 round liner for the lining, both from Easy Tattoo, and then for the shading I am only going to be using my 23 curved mag from Easy Tattoo, running them on my CNC WE between 7 to 5 volts. To start, you basically know how it is at this point. Starting with my 18 round liner, I want to line the outline of it and basically most of the outline and a couple of the pieces on the inside with the 18 before going in for the slightly smaller pieces with the 5. Now that the lining is done, I'm going to start with the shading down here along the jaw, and then I'm going to probably try and move my way up here. Generally, I feel like you should shade like the darkest spots first, but it being this type of piece, where most of it will be the same like shade, then I don't do in that exact order. I might just work from top to bottom. It just depends on really how I feel when I'm shading, if I feel to do that order or not. So on certain spots, I do feel like a good way of doing traditional is not going all the way down to the line and shading up from point, doing whip shading up through here. I'd say a good tip as well for doing, say, the like eye sockets and the nose is that it is, for me, it's a little bit instinctive to want to just fill them all the way in, but I think the best thing to do is to show a little bit of the shape, more of the shape and stuff, is whip it up towards the top and leave it a little bit of skin break in there so that it's not just completely shadow right there. Now that I've finished most of the shading for the skull itself, what I want to do before moving on to the hat is I kind of want to try and get the stipple shading that I want to do, which the only bit that I kind of want to try to do for this piece is I want to take my 5 round liner and right in between the teeth, run it straight up to try and create that line, that soft line that like happens in between the spots where the teeth are in the mouth on the skull. Now that I got that done, all I want to do now is I'm going to fill in the black in the hat before adding what I think I'm going to do, a red band going around it. I feel like this is one of the best ways of doing a top hat, because generally top hats are obviously black. Like, they're gonna be a full black design, but a good way of, so instead of just trying to draw as a big piece of like black on there, give it a bit of shine to it and like say like center, how I'm gonna do here in a second, like down the center line, create like a motion with it that shows like, oh, this is a curved piece right here, so it actually has shape to it rather than just a big blob of black. So now the piece is done, but I will say, like, I'm satisfied with most of it. The only part of it I'm not satisfied with is the band going across. The reason why I would say I'm not satisfied with it is because, as you can tell, let me bring it up a little bit, it's a bit muddy. And the reason why it's muddy is because, well, it's one of two things. Mostly because I didn't have a rinse cup, so like I ran out of cups and I haven't had the chance to restock yet, so I tried my best using my spray bottle to spray through the needle to clear it out, and it's possible that there's probably still some black when I went to the red left in it. The other problem with it is probably a bit of black left on the piece itself. When I then started trying to go into it and tattooing it, it probably just mixed with it and drug it across it. So that's the only thing that I'm not satisfied with. It's a little disappointing that it didn't turn out to be the bright red I wanted it to, but turned muddy. But for the rest of it, I'm satisfied with it, and it's just a mistake to learn from in the future. And I hope it's watching has helped you guys, and if you enjoyed the video, I ask that you like and subscribe, and if you have any suggestions or anything you want to know, you can leave it in the comments, and I'll either answer in the comments or answer in a video later on. And honestly, as the first piece of 2025, I'm satisfied with it, and I can't wait for another year of making videos and entertaining you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.